Hello dear students, welcome back to another learning lessons in my Physio-Pulse channels. Today we will learn about renal circulations and one by one introductions renal blood vessels regarding the measurement of renal blood flow and regulation of blood flow, that is the auto-regulation and special features of renal circulations in a very simple, easy to understand way and exam oriented way. You will find clear explanation diagram, even also important concepts here. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to support our channels. Now let's understand about renal circulation process. Actually, blood vessels of the kidney are highly specialized to facilitate the functions of nephrons in the formation of the urine. And in adults, during the resting conditions, both kidney receives the 20% or 25% of the cardiac output, that is 1,300 ml of blood per minute. So maximum blood supply to the kidney has got the functional significance. Renal arteries supply blood to the kidney, and the renal blood vessels like the renal artery and the various types of arteries is there. Then if in case of renal artery, it arises from the directly abdominal aorta and enters in the kidney through the hilus. And now while passing through this renal sinus, the renal artery divides into the many segmental arteries. What are the segmental arteries? The segmental arteries are divided into the interlobar arteries and also this interlobar artery, then this interlobar artery, also arcuate artery, interlobular artery, different types of arteries there. What are the interlobar arteries? The interlobar artery passes in between the medullary pyramids. At the base of the pyramid, it turns and runs parallel to base of the pyramid, forming the arcuate artery. Now each arcuate artery gives rise to the interlobular arteries, and then interlobular artery arises down through the renal cortex and perpendicular to the arcuate artery. From each interlobular artery, numerous afferent arterioles arises. So now from interlobular artery, their afferent arteriole arises and it enters into the Bowman capsules and forms the glomerular capillary tuft. After entering the Bowman capsules, the afferent arterioles divides into 4 and 5 capillaries. So what are the capillaries? Like the glomerular capillary is one of them. Each large capillary divides into the smaller glomerular capillary, which forms loops. The capillary loops unite to form the efferent arteriole, which leaves the Bowman capsules. Now efferent arterioles form a second capillary network called the peritubular arteries or capillaries, which surrounded the tubular portion of the nephrons. Thus, the renal circulation forms a portal system by the presence of the two sets of capillaries, namely glomerular capillary and peritubular capillaries. Now, the peritubular capillary and Vasa recta, they both are present here. Peritubular capillary are found around the tubular portion of the cortical nephrons, and while the Vasa recta arises directly from the efferent arteriole of the juxtamedullary nephrons, and they both run parallel to the renal tubules into the medulla and ascend up towards the cortex. So if you see the measurement of the renal blood flow, the blood flow of the kidney that is measured by the using plasma clearance of aminohydric acids test. So now to see the regulation of the renal blood flow. The renal blood flow is regulated mainly auto-regulations. The nerves innervating the renal blood vessels do not have any significant role in this way. So if you see the circulation process, then you will see this is the way abdominal aorta, then renal artery, then segmental artery. It goes to the interlobar artery, then it forms the arcuate artery, and after that interlobular artery is formed. And from interlobular artery, there arises from the afferent arteriole, and from here the glomerular capillaries and efferent arteriole is there. Now from here it comes to the Vasa recta and peritubular capillaries. From here the peritubular vein is present. Peritubular vein, the blood goes to the interlobular vein, then arcuate vein and interlobar vein, and ultimately segmental vein and renal vein, and then it goes to the inferior vena cava. So in this way, renal blood circulations is happening here. So one by one, this is the structure of renal capillaries which is present here, and where we are shown here the different types of arterioles and different types of capillaries and different types of veins are present in these structures. Now the important part is that autoregulations. Autoregulation is the intrinsic ability of an organ to regulate own blood flow. So autoregulation is present in some vital organs in the body such as the brain, heart, kidneys. So highly significant and more efficient in the kidney. In case of renal autoregulations, their auto is important to maintain the glomerular filtration rate. Blood flows to the kidney remain normal even when the mean arterial blood pressures vary widely between 60 millimeter of Hg and 180 mm of Hg. This helps to maintain the GFR. So there are the two important mechanisms there: myogenic response and tubuloglomerular feedback. Both two mechanisms we have discussed in earlier cases. Both two mechanisms we have discussed here. So now, important thing, the general special features or the peculiarities of these autoregulations, very important for our examination purposes. So renal circulation has some special features to cope up with the functions of the kidney. Such special features are the renal arteries. Number one, renal artery arises directly from the aorta. So the high pressure in the aorta facilitates the high blood flow to the kidney. So both the kidney receives, we know 26% of cardiac output, there is 1300 ml of blood. So kidney are the second organ to receive the maximum blood flow. The first organ we know the liver that receives 1500 ml of blood, that is 30% of cardiac output. Whole amount of blood which flows to the kidney has to pass through the glomerular capillary before entering the venous system. So because of this, the blood is completely filtered into the renal glomeruli. Now, renal circulation has a portal system we already discussed here, a double network capillaries, the glomerular capillary, even also peritubular capillaries, and number 5, renal glomerular capillaries from high pressure bed with a pressure of 60 mmHg to 70 mmHg. It is much greater than the capillary pressure elsewhere in the body, which is only the 25 millimeter to 30 millimeter of Hg. So this high pressure is maintained in the glomerular capillaries because of the diameter of the afferent arteriole, and it is more than the efferent arteriole. So the high capillary pressure augments the glomerular filtrations. Even peritubular capillaries forms a low blood pressure bed with a pressure of 8 mmHg to 10 mmHg. This low pressure helps the tubular reabsorptions. So auto-regulation of the renal blood flow is well established. So in this way, we can say there are the various important characteristics features of the renal circulation. So I think we all have discussed in the renal circulations process. First we have discussed what is the renal circulations, and then we discuss the different types of arteries which are present in the renal circulations, and different types of veins which is shown in this figure, and even also capillary, what are the capillaries present in the circulation process. And lastly, we discuss here the auto-regulation process, how it is maintained, the auto-regulation. Even also we have discussed lastly the peculiarities or the characteristic features of the renal circulation. So students, I think these sessions help you understand the topic clearly. And if you found this video useful, helpful, please like, share and subscribe to the Physio-Pulse channels. And do not forget to press the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming lectures of physiology, biology and biochemistry. And even also, if you have any query, any question, any suggestion, please give some notes in our comment sections. And thank you. And we'll see you next on lectures. Until then, keep learning and stay curious.